The alarm rang through Colony Station Meridian at 3 in the morning. Harin woke up fast. Her heart beat hard in her chest. She reached for her tablet on the small table next to her bed. The screen showed red letters, emergency crash site, Sector 7. She pulled on her clothes and ran to the door. The hallway lights were bright. They hurt her eyes. Other people were running too. Their faces looked scared. Harin heard someone say it was a Velkari ship. Her stomach felt tight. The Velkari were not friends with humans. They never had been. Harin was a doctor. She studied aliens. She learned about their bodies and how they lived. She had read many books about the Velkari. They were tall and strong. Their skin was like metal. Their eyes glowed in the dark. They did not trust humans. Humans did not trust them. There had been fights before. Bad fights. She got to the main deck. Tae-yang was there. He was the station commander. He was a big man with short gray hair. He looked tired. He always looked tired these days. He saw Harin and shook his head. "Stay back," he said. "We do not know what is out there. Is anyone alive?" Harin asked. Tae-yang looked at his screen. "We picked up one life sign, small. Could be a child." Harin felt something pull at her chest. "A child, alone in a crashed ship. I need to go help." "No," Tae-yang said. His voice was hard. "Velkari do not want our help. They see us as enemies. If you go out there, they might hurt you." "It is a child," Harin said. She looked at him. Her eyes were strong. A scared child, Tae-yang was quiet for a long time. Then he let out a long breath. "Take a guard with you. Take a weapon," Harin nodded. But she knew she would not use a weapon. Not on a child. She walked through the long tunnel to Sector 7. The tunnel was cold. Her breath made small clouds in the air. Behind her, a guard followed. His name was Kijun. He was young and nervous. His hand stayed on his gun. They got to the crash site. The door opened. Harin stepped outside. The surface of the planet was dark. The stars were bright above them. In front of them was the ship. It was broken. Smoke came from the back. Pieces of metal lay everywhere. Harin heard something. A sound, soft and sad crying. She moved closer. Kijun grabbed her arm. "Wait," he said. "Let me check first." Harin pulled her arm free. She walked to the ship. The crying got louder. It came from inside. She found a hole in the side. She looked in. There in the dark was a small shape. It was a Velkari child, maybe 5 years old in human years. Its skin was silver like the moon. Its eyes glowed red. Tears ran down its face. But these were not normal tears. They glowed too. They were like small drops of light. The cub saw Harin. It made a sound, a hiss. Its small teeth showed, sharp and white. It pushed back against the wall. Its body shook. "It is okay," Harin said softly. She kept her voice calm. "I will not hurt you," the cub hissed again. Louder this time. Kijun was behind her. "Doctor, we should call for help. Get a containment team." "No," Harin said. "That will scare it more." She looked around the ship. She saw bodies. Adult Velkari. They were not moving. The cub was alone. Its family was gone. Harin knew that pain. She had lost her own family years ago. She remembered how it felt. The emptiness. The fear. She took a step closer. The cub screamed. It was a terrible sound, high and full of fear. Harin stopped. She sat down, right there on the cold metal floor. She did not try to touch the cub. She just sat. "What are you doing?" Kijun asked. "Waiting," Harin said. "For what?" "For it to know I am not a danger." Kijun shook his head. "This is crazy. Commander Tae-yang will not like this." "Tell him I am staying," Harin said. "Go back if you want." Kijun stood there for a minute. Then he left. Harin heard his boots on the metal. Then she heard nothing but the wind and the small, scared sounds of the cub. She looked at the small creature. It looked back at her. Its red eyes were wide. Its body was still shaking. More tears fell. They made small lights on the floor. "I know you are scared," Harin said quietly. "I know you do not know me. I know humans and Velkari do not get along. But I am not going to hurt you. I promise." The cub did not answer. It could not understand her words, but maybe it could hear the softness in her voice. Harin pulled her coat tighter. It was very cold. She thought about her grandmother, the old woman who raised her after her parents died. Her grandmother used to say that the best medicine was presence. Just being there, not trying to fix everything, just staying. So Harin stayed. She sat on the cold floor. She watched the cub. She did not move toward it. She did not talk too much. She just let it see her, let it learn that she was not going to hurt it. Time passed. Harin did not know how long. Her back hurt. Her legs felt stiff, but she did not move. The cub kept crying, but the crying was softer now. Less afraid. More tired, Harin started to hum. It was an old song, a Korean lullaby her grandmother sang to her. She did not sing the words, just the tune. Soft and low, the cub stopped crying. It listened. Its head tilted to one side. Harin kept humming. The same song over and over. The cub's eyes stopped glowing so bright. Its body stopped shaking so much. It was still afraid, but maybe, just maybe, a little less than before. Outside, the sun started to rise. The darkness became gray, then orange, then light. Harin could see better now. She could see the cub more clearly. It was so small. Its silver skin had patterns on it, like swirls and lines. Its hands had small claws, sharp but delicate. She heard footsteps. Someone was coming. Harin did not turn around. She kept her eyes on the cub. Dr. Harin? It was a woman's voice, Bora. She was an engineer on the station. Harin knew her a little. Yes, Harin said softly. Commander Taeyang sent me. He said to bring you supplies. Water and food. Bora's voice was careful, quiet. She understood not to make sudden sounds. Thank you, Harin said. Can you leave them near the door? Yes, there was a soft sound. The supplies being set down, Doctor? How long are you going to stay here? As long as it takes, Harin said. Bora was quiet. Then she said, You are very brave. I am not brave, Harin said. I just remember what it feels like to be alone and scared. Bora left. Harin was alone with the cub again. She reached slowly for the water. She took a small drink. Then she set the bottle down in front of her. Not close to the cub, just where it could see, the cub watched. Its eyes followed the water bottle. You must be thirsty, Harin said. It is here when you want it. She went back to humming. The same lullaby, over and over. The morning light grew stronger. The cub's eyes stayed on her, red and glowing, watching, waiting, learning. The hours passed slowly. Harin sat on the cold floor of the crashed ship. Her back hurt. Her legs were numb. But she did not move. The Velkari cub stayed in the corner. It watched her with red, glowing eyes. It had stopped crying, but it still looked scared. Harin kept humming the old lullaby. Her voice was soft. The tune filled the quiet space. She thought about her grandmother again. The old woman had been wise. She knew that sometimes the best thing to do was nothing. Just be present. Just wait. The cub's body was not shaking as much now. Its breathing was slower, more calm, but it still did not come closer. Harin understood. Trust took time, especially when you were scared and alone. Outside, the sun moved across the sky. The light changed. Morning became afternoon. Harin heard sounds from the station. People working. Machines running. But here in this broken ship, everything was quiet. She reached for the water bottle, moving slowly, very slowly. She took a small drink. Then she held it out, not toward the cub. Just in front of her, offering, the cub watched. Its eyes followed the bottle. Harin could see it was thirsty. Its mouth opened a little. Its tongue looked dry. You need water, Harin said gently. I will put it here. You can take it when you are ready. She set the bottle down, halfway between them. Then she moved back. She gave the cub space. She went back to humming. The same lullaby, the same soft tune. Time passed. Maybe an hour, maybe more. The cub did not move, but its eyes kept looking at the water. Harin could see it wanted to drink, but it was still afraid. Then, very slowly, the cub moved. Just a little. One small step forward. Then it stopped. It looked at Harin. She kept humming. She did not look directly at the cub. She had read that direct eye contact could be threatening to some species. She kept her gaze soft, relaxed. The cub took another step, then another. It was getting closer to the water. Harin's heart beat faster, but she kept her body still. She kept her voice steady. The lullaby continued. The cub reached the water bottle. It sniffed it. Its small nose twitched. Then it picked up the bottle with both hands. Its claws clicked against the plastic. It drank fast and desperate. Water spilled down its chin. It made soft sounds. Relief sounds. Harin smiled. Just a little. She kept humming. The cub finished the water. It set the bottle down. Then it looked at Harin. Really looked at her. Not with fear now. With something else. Curiosity, maybe. Or wonder. Good, Harin said softly. That is good. You needed that. The cub made a sound. Not a hiss this time. Something softer. Like a chirp. Harin had read about Velkari communication. They could make many sounds. This one seemed less angry, less scared. She reached for her bag. Moving slowly again, she pulled out a food bar. It was not much. Just something she had grabbed before coming here. She broke off a piece. She ate it. Then she broke off another piece. She held it out. Are you hungry? She asked. I do not know if you can eat this, but you can try. The cub watched. It tilted its head. Harin set the food piece down, in the same spot where the water had been. Then she moved back again. The cub moved faster this time. It came forward. It picked up the food. It sniffed it. Then it took a small bite. It chewed slowly. Its face changed. It seemed to like it. It ate the rest quickly. Harin smiled again. She broke off more pieces. She put them down one by one. The cub ate them all. Its belly looked fuller now, less hollow. She heard footsteps again. Someone coming. The cub heard too. It jumped back. It ran to the corner. Its body went stiff. Its eyes glowed bright red again. It is okay, Harin said quickly. Do not be scared. Bora appeared in the doorway. She had more supplies, blankets, more food, more water. She saw the empty water bottle. She saw the food wrapper. Her eyes went wide. It drank? She whispered. It ate? Harin nodded. Yes, a little while ago. Bora looked amazed. That is incredible. Everyone on the station is talking about you. They think you are crazy, but also brave. Harin shrugged. I am just sitting here. You are doing more than that, Bora said. You are showing it that not all humans are dangerous. Harin looked at the cub. It was pressed against the wall again. Watching Bora, afraid of the new person. Can you stay back a little? Harin asked. You are scaring it. Bora stepped back. Sorry, I will leave these here. She set down the supplies near the door. Commander Taeyang wants to know when you are coming back. I am not, Harin said. Not yet. Bora looked worried. You need rest. You have been here for hours. I will rest here, Harin said. I am not leaving it alone. Bora was quiet for a moment. Then she nodded. Okay, I will tell the commander. She turned to leave. Then she stopped. Dr. Harin? What you are doing, it matters. Even if it feels small. Harin felt her throat tighten. Thank you. Bora left. Harin was alone with the cub again. She reached for a blanket. She wrapped it around her shoulders. It was getting colder. The sun was setting. Night would come soon. She looked at the cub. It was still in the corner. But it was not pressed so hard against the wall now. Its body was a little more relaxed. Do you want a blanket? Harin asked. She held up another one. It is soft. It will keep you warm. The cub watched. Harin folded the blanket. She set it down. Not too close, but close enough that the cub could reach it if it wanted. She went back to her spot. She pulled her own blanket tighter. She started humming again. The lullaby was becoming familiar now. The tune floated through the cold air. The cub made that soft chirping sound again. Harin felt something warm in her chest. Hope, maybe. The cub was talking to her. In its own way. That meant something. Hours passed. The sun disappeared. The stars came out. The crashed ship got very dark. Harin could barely see, but she could see the cub's eyes. They glowed in the darkness. Like two small red lights, she kept humming. Even though she was tired, even though her voice was getting rough. She kept going. For the cub. So it would not feel alone. Then something changed. The cub moved. Harin heard it. Soft sounds. Careful movements. She did not turn her head. She did not want to scare it. She just kept humming. She felt something. A small weight. The blanket she had left for the cub was being pulled. The cub was taking it. Harin heard rustling sounds. The cub was wrapping itself up. Her heart felt full. The cub had accepted her gift. It trusted her enough to take something from her. That was big. That was progress, thank you, Harin whispered. For trusting me. Even just a little bit. The cub chirped again. Softer this time. Almost like a purr. Harin kept humming. The stars shone through the broken parts of the ship. The night was cold, but somehow it felt less lonely now. She thought about what Bora had said. That what she was doing mattered. Harin did not know if that was true. She was just one person. The cub was just one small creature in a big galaxy full of conflict and fear. But maybe that was enough. Maybe one person and one small creature could be the start of something. Maybe kindness worked that way. Starting small, growing slowly, spreading like light in the darkness. Harin closed her eyes for a moment. She was so tired. But she could not sleep, not yet. The cub still needed her to be awake, to be present, to keep humming. So she opened her eyes again. She looked at those glowing red lights in the darkness, and she kept humming. The same lullaby, over and over, a bridge of sound between two different worlds. The cub listened, and for the first time since the crash, it did not feel so alone. The night was long and cold. Harin kept her blanket wrapped tight around her shoulders. Her body ached from sitting so long. Her voice was rough from humming. But she did not stop. The cub needed to hear her, to know she was still there. She could see the cub across the dark space. Its eyes still glowed red, but the color had changed a little. Not as bright, not as angry, more like a deep orange now, like embers in a fire. Harin wondered what the color meant. She had read that Velkari could change their eye color based on their feelings. Red meant fear or anger. Orange might mean something different. Maybe curiosity, maybe calm. She started talking. Her voice was soft, gentle. I lost my family too, she said, a long time ago. I was young like you. There was an accident. My parents died. I felt so alone, so scared. I did not know what would happen to me. The cub listened. Its head tilted slightly. Harin knew it could not understand her words. But maybe it could understand her tone, her feelings. My grandmother took me in, Harin continued. She was kind, patient. She did not push me to talk when I did not want to. She just stayed with me. She sang to me. The same song I am singing to you now. She paused. Her throat felt tight. It had been many years since her grandmother died. But she still missed her. Every day, she taught me that sometimes the best thing you can do for someone is just be there. Not try to fix everything, not have all the answers, just stay. Just be present. The cub made a soft sound. That chirping noise again. Harin smiled. Maybe it understood more than she thought, or maybe it just liked hearing her voice. I know you are different from me, Harin said. You are Velkari. I am human. Our peoples do not trust each other. There has been fighting. Bad things have happened between us. But you are not responsible for that. You are just a child, and I am just a person who does not want you to be alone. She reached into her bag again. She pulled out more food. She broke it into small pieces. She ate one piece. Then she set the rest down between them, sharing like friends do. The cub watched. For a long moment it did not move. Then slowly, very slowly, it stood up. The blanket fell off its shoulders. It walked forward. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps. Harin held her breath. The cub was coming closer than ever before. It reached the food. It picked up a piece. It looked at Harin. Their eyes met. Harin kept her gaze soft, non-threatening. The cub ate the food. Then it picked up another piece. And another. It was not rushing now. Not eating out of desperate hunger. Just eating. Normal eating. When the food was gone, the cub did not run back to the corner. It stayed. It sat down. Not right next to Harin, but closer. Much closer than before. Maybe 3 feet away. Harin felt tears in her eyes. This was big. This was trust. Real trust. The cub was choosing to be near her. Thank you, she whispered. Thank you for trusting me. The cub tilted its head. It made that chirping sound again. Then it did something Harin did not expect. It started to hum. Not the same tune Harin had been singing. A different tune. A Valkyrie tune, maybe. Soft and strange and beautiful. Harin listened. Her heart felt full. The cub was singing to her, sharing its own song. This was communication. This was connection. That is beautiful, Harin said softly. Will you teach it to me? The cub hummed again. The same tune. Slow and clear. Harin tried to copy it. Her voice was not as good. The notes were different, but she tried. The cub seemed to understand. It hummed the tune again. Helping her learn, they sat like that for a long time, taking turns. Harin would hum her lullaby. The cub would hum its song. Back and forth, a conversation without words, a bridge between two different beings. Outside, the stars moved across the sky. Time passed. Harin felt herself getting tired. Very tired. Her eyes wanted to close. But she fought to stay awake. The cub seemed tired too. Its humming got softer. Its body started to slump. It yawned. Harin could see its sharp teeth. But she was not afraid. Not anymore. You should sleep, Harin said gently. You are safe now. I will stay awake. I will watch over you. The cub looked at her. Its orange eyes were dim now, sleepy. It chirped once, soft and small. Then it lay down. Right there. Not in the corner. Not far away. Close to Harin. Close enough that she could reach out and touch it if she wanted. But Harin did not reach out. Not yet, she just watched. The cub pulled the blanket over itself. It curled into a small ball. Its breathing got slower, deeper. It was falling asleep. Harin felt her own eyes getting heavy. She was so tired. She had been awake for more than 24 hours. Her body hurt. Her mind was foggy. But she did not want to sleep. What if the cub woke up scared? What if it needed her? She kept humming. Softer now. Almost a whisper. The lullaby floated through the dark space. The cub's breathing got even slower. It was asleep now. Really asleep. Harin watched it sleep. Its small body rose and fell with each breath. Its silver skin looked softer in sleep, less like metal, more like silk. The patterns on its skin seemed to glow faintly. They were beautiful. She thought about everything that had happened. Just yesterday, this cub would have attacked her, would have seen her as an enemy. But now it was sleeping near her, trusting her. That was amazing. That was impossible, but it was real. Harin thought about the history between humans and Valkyrie. Decades of fighting, decades of fear and hate. Both sides thought the other was dangerous, evil, beyond saving. But this cub was not evil. It was just scared and alone, just like Harin had been when she was young. Maybe that was true for all of them. Maybe the adult Valkyrie were not so different. Maybe they were scared too. Maybe the fighting came from fear, from not understanding each other, from never sitting down together, never sharing songs, never just being present with each other. Harin did not know if one small moment of kindness could change decades of conflict. That seemed impossible, too big, but maybe it was a start. Maybe this was how change happened. One person. One moment. One choice to see past the fear. Her eyes closed. Just for a second. She jerked awake. No, she could not sleep. She had to stay awake. But her body was so heavy. Her mind was so tired, the cub stirred. Harin looked at it. Its eyes opened a little. Orange light in the darkness. It looked at Harin. Then it did something that made Harin's breath catch. The cub reached out. Its small hand, claws and all, reached toward Harin. Not to hurt, not to attack, just reaching. Like a child reaching for a parent. Harin felt tears on her cheeks. Slowly, carefully, she reached out too. Her hand and the cub's hand met in the space between them. The cub's claws were sharp but gentle. Its skin was warm. Warmer than Harin expected. The cub's fingers wrapped around Harin's hand. Holding on. Not tight. Just holding. Then its eyes closed again. It went back to sleep. But it did not let go. Harin sat there, hand in hand with a Valkyrie cub. Something that should have been impossible. Something that went against everything both their peoples believed. But here it was. Real and warm and peaceful. She kept humming. Even softer now. The lullaby mixed with the sound of the cub's breathing. Harin felt her own eyes closing again. This time she did not fight it. The cub was holding her hand. She was holding the cub's hand. They would sleep together. They would be safe together. As sleep took her, Harin had one last thought. This was what her grandmother meant. This was what presence looked like. Just sitting beside someone who was hurting. Just staying. Just holding on. Harin woke up slowly. Her body was stiff and cold. Her neck hurt from sleeping sitting up. For a moment she forgot where she was. Then she felt it. The small hand still holding hers. She opened her eyes. The sun was rising. Orange light came through the broken parts of the ship. It made everything glow. Harin looked down. The Valkyrie cub was still asleep. Its fingers were wrapped around her hand. gentle, trusting. Harin felt her chest get tight. She had done it. She had stayed all night. She had kept her promise. And the cub had trusted her, had reached out to her, had held her hand through the dark hours. She heard voices outside. People were coming. Harin did not move. She did not want to wake the cub. Not yet. Let it sleep a little longer. Let it rest. The voices got louder. Then footsteps. Someone was at the door. Harin looked up. It was Bora, and behind her was Taeyang. The commander looked tired, worried, but when he saw Harin and the cub, his face changed. His eyes went wide. Bora put her hand over her mouth. She was staring at their joined hands. At the peaceful scene. "It is holding your hand," she whispered. "It is actually holding your hand." Harin nodded. She put one finger to her lips, a signal to be quiet. The cub was still sleeping. Taeyang stepped forward carefully. He moved slowly, quietly. He knelt down near Harin. "Doctor," he said softly, "what you have done here is remarkable, impossible. I have never seen anything like this." Harin smiled. She was so tired. "I just sat with it. That is all." "That is not all," Taeyang said. His voice was serious. "You showed patience, courage, compassion. You did what no one else would do. You saw past the fear, past the history. You saw a child who needed help." Harin looked at the cub. Its face was peaceful in sleep. It looked so young, so innocent. Anyone would have helped it, she said, if they just looked past the species, past the conflict, but no one else did, Bora said quietly. "Only you." The cub stirred. Its eyes opened slowly. Orange light, soft and warm. It looked at Harin. Then it saw the others. Its body went tense. Its grip on Harin's hand got tighter. "It is okay," Harin said gently. "These are friends. They will not hurt you." The cub looked at Taeyang, then at Bora. Its eyes flickered. Orange to red, back to orange. Uncertain, scared. Bora sat down. She stayed back. She smiled. "Hello, little one," she said. Her voice was soft, kind. "I am Bora. I am a friend of Harin." The cub watched her. It did not let go of Harin's hand. But it did not run away either. That was progress. Taeyang cleared his throat. "Dr. Harin, we need to talk about what happens next. The Velkari government knows about the crash. They are sending a ship. It will be here in 2 days. Harin's stomach dropped. 2 days. The cub would have to leave. Go back to its people. That was right. That was where it belonged. But Harin felt sad anyway. She had only just met this small creature, but already she cared about it. "What will happen?" she asked. Taeyang looked uncomfortable. "I do not know. The Velkari are not happy that we have one of their children. They think we might hurt it, or use it against them." "That is ridiculous," Harin said. Her voice was sharp. "We would never do that. We are trying to help, I know," Taeyang said, "but they do not trust us, just like we do not trust them. Decades of fighting do that. They make people forget how to see each other as anything but enemies." Harin looked at the cub. It was watching the conversation, not understanding the words, but understanding the tension, the worry. Its eyes flickered red again. "We have to show them," Harin said. "We have to show them that we did not hurt their child. That we helped it, protected it, cared for it." "How?" Bora asked. "They will not believe words. They will think we are lying." Harin thought for a moment. Then she had an idea. "We show them this." She lifted her hand, the hand the cub was holding. "The cub can show them. It can tell them that we were kind, that we were safe." Taeyang looked doubtful. "Will they listen to a child?" "They will listen to their child," Harin said. "They have to." The next 2 days passed quickly. Harin stayed with the cub. She did not go back to her quarters. She slept in the crashed ship. She ate with the cub. She sang to it. She played simple games. She taught it words. "Hello, friend, safe." The cub learned fast. It started to copy her sounds. Not perfect, but close. It would point at things. Harin would tell it the words. The cub would try to say them. Its voice was strange, high and musical. But Harin could understand it. Other people from the station came to see. At first the cub was scared. It would hide behind Harin. But slowly it got braver. It would peek out. Watch the new faces. Some people brought gifts, food, toys, small things to make the cub feel welcome. Bora came every day. She would sit with Harin and the cub. She talked about her work, her life, simple things. The cub seemed to like her. It would chirp when Bora arrived. A happy sound. On the second evening, Haran gave the cub a name. She had been thinking about it. What name would be right? What name would honor this small, brave creature who had learned to trust? Dae-yoon, she said. That will be your name. It means great kindness. Because you showed me such great kindness. You trusted me when you had no reason to. The cub tilted its head. Dae-yoon, it repeated. The sound was rough, but clear. Yes, Haran said. She felt tears in her eyes. Da-un, that is you, the cub chirped. It seemed to like the name. It said it again. Da-un. Then it pointed at Haran. Haran? Haran laughed. Yes, Haran. That is me. Dae-yoon reached out. It touched Haran's face, gently. Its claws barely touched her skin. Then it said something in its own language. A long string of sounds. Haran did not know what it meant, but she could guess. Thank you, maybe, or friend, or I trust you. That night, Haran could not sleep. Tomorrow the Valkyrie ship would come. Tomorrow Dae-yoon would leave, go back to its people. That was good. That was right. But Haran would miss this small creature, this small being who had taught her so much about kindness, about patience, about seeing past fear. Dae-yoon was curled up next to her, sleeping peacefully. Its hand held Haran's hand. Like always, Haran looked at their joined hands. Human and Valkyrie, different species, different worlds. But here, in this moment, they were just two beings who cared about each other. Maybe that was enough. Maybe that was everything. Haran closed her eyes. She hummed the lullaby one more time, soft and low. Dae-yoon's breathing matched the rhythm. Together they slept, hand in hand, heart to heart. Tomorrow would bring change. But tonight they had this moment of peace, this moment of connection, this moment that proved kindness could cross any divide. The Valkyrie ship arrived at noon. It was big, much bigger than the crashed vessel. Its hull was silver like Dae-yoon's skin. It moved through space with grace, beautiful and deadly. Haran stood on the docking platform. Dae-yoon stood beside her. The small cub held Haran's hand tight. It was scared. Haran could feel it shaking. She squeezed its hand gently. It is okay, she said. These are your people. Your family. Dae-yoon looked up at her. Its orange eyes were bright, wet with tears. It made a soft sound, sad and small. Haran felt her own tears coming, but she held them back. She had to be strong. For Dae-yoon Tae-yang stood nearby. Bora was there too, and several other station workers. They all looked nervous. The Valkyrie were not friends. This meeting could go badly, very badly. The ship's door opened. A ramp extended. 3 Valkyrie walked out. They were tall, much taller than humans. Their skin was silver like Dae-yoon's. Their eyes glowed red. Angry red. They moved with power, with authority. The lead Valkyrie was the tallest. It wore what looked like armor. It stopped at the edge of the ramp. It looked down at the humans. Its eyes scanned them. Then they landed on Dae-yoon. The red glow got brighter. More intense, it spoke. The language was harsh, full of sharp sounds. Haran did not understand the words, but she understood the tone: anger, fear, worry. Tae-yang stepped forward. He had a translator device. He spoke into it. The device made Valkyrie sounds. We mean no harm. The child is safe. We have protected it. The lead Valkyrie made a sound, like a growl. The translator spoke in human words. You kept our child. You had no right. Give it back now. Dae-yoon made a sound. A chirp, loud and clear. The adult Valkyrie looked at it. Dae-yoon let go of Haran's hand. It walked forward. Slow but steady. It was not running to its people. It was walking with purpose. Dae-yoon reached the lead Valkyrie. It looked up. It spoke in its own language. Fast words, strong words. The adult listened. Its red eyes flickered. Changed color. From red to orange to yellow. To something softer. Dae-yoon kept talking. It pointed at Haran. It pointed at Bora. It made gestures. Showed how it had been scared. How Haran had sat with it. How she had sung. How she had shared food. How she had held its hand. The lead Valkyrie knelt down. It was still tall. Even kneeling, it put its hands on Dae-yoon's shoulders. It spoke. Gentle sounds now. Not harsh. The other 2 Valkyrie came forward. They looked at Dae-yoon. Their eyes were softer too. Worried but relieved. Dayun turned. It looked at Harin. Then it ran back, fast. It threw its arms around Harin's legs. It held on tight. Harin knelt down. She hugged the small cub. Tears ran down her face now. She could not stop them. "I will miss you," she whispered. So much Dayun made sounds, crying sounds, but also words. Harin, friend, safe. The words were clear. The lead Valkyrie heard them. It stood up. It walked down the ramp, all the way to where Harin knelt with Dayun. Harin looked up. The Valkyrie towered over her. It could hurt her easily, kill her if it wanted. Harin's heart beat fast, but she did not let go of Dayun. She would not show fear. The Valkyrie spoke. The translator device spoke in human words. "You saved my child." Harin stood up slowly. Dayun held her hand. "I did what anyone should do," she said. "I helped a scared child." The Valkyrie's eyes changed color again. They were green now. Harin had read that green meant respect, gratitude. Not many humans would have done this. Not for a Valkyrie. Not with our history. Harin looked the Valkyrie in the eyes. "I do not care about history. I care about children who need help. All children. No matter what species they are." The Valkyrie was quiet for a long moment. Then it did something Harin did not expect. It knelt down. It put one hand over its heart. A gesture of respect, of honor. "You have my gratitude. You have my family's gratitude. You showed kindness when you could have shown cruelty. You showed courage when you could have shown fear." Harin felt her throat get tight. "Thank you," the Valkyrie stood. It looked at Dayun, then at Harin. "I am J1. I am ambassador for my people. I came here expecting to find my child hurt, scared, used as a tool against us. Instead, I find my child safe, happy, loved. This changes things." T. Yang stepped forward. "What do you mean?" J1 turned to him. "I mean that perhaps we have been wrong about humans. Perhaps you are not all our enemies. Perhaps there can be peace between us." Taeyang's eyes went wide. "Peace after decades of fighting?" J1 nodded. "It will not be easy. There is much anger on both sides, much pain, but this human showed us that it is possible, that we can see past our fear, past our hate. If she can sit with a scared Valkyrie child and show such kindness, then maybe we can sit with humans and do the same." Harin felt something big happening. Something important. She had not meant to start anything. She had just wanted to help Dayun. But now something bigger was growing. Something that could change everything. Dayun tugged on Harin's hand. Harin looked down. The small cub held something out. A small piece of cloth. Silver like its skin. It had patterns on it. The same patterns that were on Dayun's skin. "For you," Dayun said. "Remember." Harin took the cloth. Her hands shook. "I will never forget you, never." Dayun hugged her one more time. Then it walked back to J1. The tall Valkyrie put its hand on Dayun's shoulder. It looked at Harin. "We will return to talk, to build trust, to learn from you. This child will tell our people what you did. They will listen. Change will come, slowly perhaps, but it will come." J1 and the other Valkyrie walked back to their ship. Dayun walked with them, but it kept turning around. Looking at Harin, waving. Harin waved back. Tears ran down her face freely now. The ship door closed. The vessel lifted. It moved away slowly, then faster. Then it was gone. Just a silver spot in the sky, then nothing. Harin stood there for a long time. Bora came to her, put an arm around her shoulders. "You did something amazing," Bora said quietly. "You changed the future." "I just sat with a scared child," Harin said. "That is all." "No," Taeyang said. He was standing nearby. "You did much more than that. You showed us all what is possible. You showed that kindness is stronger than fear, that compassion can cross any divide, that one person in one moment can change everything." Harin looked at the piece of cloth in her hands. The silver fabric caught the light. She thought about Dayun, about those first scared moments, about the long night, about the small hand holding hers, about trust being built piece by piece. Maybe Taeyang was right. Maybe small acts of kindness did matter. Maybe they were the start of big changes. Maybe sitting beside someone who was hurting was the most important thing a person could do. 3 months later, Harin sat in a conference room. On one side were human diplomats. On the other side were Valkyrie leaders. J1 was there. and next to Jaewon was Dayun. The small cub had grown a little. Its eyes were bright green. Happy green. Dayun saw Harin. It jumped up. It ran across the room. "Harin!" it called out. Friend Harin knelt down. She hugged Dawn tight. "I missed you so much." "Missed you too," Dawn said. Its human words were better now, clearer. "Tell everyone about you. About kindness. About sitting and waiting and trusting." Jaewon came over. He smiled. If a Velkari face could smile. "This child has been our greatest teacher." It told everyone about the human who saved it. Who sat with it in the dark. Who sang lullabies. Who held its hand. Your story spread across our worlds. It changed minds. Changed hearts. Harin felt tears again. Good tears this time. "I never meant to start anything big. I just wanted to help." "That is exactly why it worked," Jaewon said. "You did not help for glory. Or for politics. You helped because it was right. That is the kind of kindness that changes worlds." The talks began. Humans and Velkari working together. Building trust. Making plans for peace. It would take time. Years maybe. There would be setbacks, challenges. But now there was hope. Real hope. And it all started because one human sat beside a weeping cub. Because she stayed through the dark night. Because she held out her hand and waited for trust to grow. Because by morning, when the sun rose, that small, frightened creature slept peacefully, holding her hand. Sometimes the biggest changes come from the smallest acts. Sometimes one moment of kindness can ripple out across the galaxy. Sometimes all it takes is one person who chooses to see past fear. To sit with someone who is hurting. To stay, to care, to love. That is the human way. That is what makes humanity special. Not their weapons, not their technology, but their capacity to choose compassion over hate, to choose presence over abandonment, to choose to stay even in the darkness until the light comes.